Hi guys, my name is Stacy Charles and welcome to this edition of Teachers Tech Talk. I am a 5th grade teacher at Turner Elementary. I teach science and social studies. And this week we're going to be talking about chapter 10, which is on teaching and learning with technology and English language arts. Now, we all know that reading, writing, and listening skills and critical thinking are crucial skills that students need to master in school. Honestly, I believe ELA is the most important subject because think about it. In every subject, you have to have some type of reading skills and comprehension skills, even in math. These days, math is full of word problems, but if you're not on grade level or you don't know how to pull out key terms, you don't know what operation to do. So therefore, ELA is definitely an important subject in school. Now, a student also needs to know how to seek meaning using a range of media, such as video, images, different sounds, animations, interactive elements. They need to know how to draw meaning from all of those components. That's where devices like tablets and laptops and little hand gadgets really come in handy. Okay? Now, technology, according to the text, can also be used to ensure that teachers are meeting the state standards set by the NCTE for ELA. There are several reading programs out there that will cater to students' needs and meet them where they are. So let's take example of eSpark. eSpark is a reading program and it meets students on their reading level. So even if I have a 5th grader, but he's reading on a 3rd grade level, he'll get that 5th grade text, but on a 3rd grade level. But it will gradually push him to higher levels. Meanwhile, this student is engaging in games. It has games, interactive games. It has vocabulary already embedded in there. And you have to master context clues. You have to master those skills before you move to the next level. Okay? The downside of it is when the student gets ready to convert what they read into writing, or if they get something wrong, the computer doesn't know how to actually tell the student. A lot of times don't know how to tell the student why they got it wrong. Yeah, I can tell you I got it wrong. I can show you what the right answer is, but I can't really tell you why you have it wrong because it doesn't give that personal touch. That's what we come in at. Yeah, we are definitely, like Beyonce say, irreplaceable. Now, let's talk about my best friend Google. Now, I say Google's my best friend all the time because who doesn't go to Google when they need to look something up, right? But have you had a child that just straight copy and paste an answer from Google and just put it on their paper like, hello, this is a masterpiece? No, sir. No, ma'am. That's plagiarism. It's important that students understand the downside of Google. I mean, it's a whole lot of information, but they need to know how to decipher the important information. Like they need to know how to pull the important stuff, get the meat, the meat, and they need to know how to use that information that they need and apply it to what we're doing in the lesson. So that does not mean go to the first website you see, copy what it says, and put it in there as your work. No. They need to really learn how to read it, interpret it, and spit it out in their own words. And that can be really difficult for some students, which is why promoting and motivating students to read and write is very important. Now, there are methods out there that can help guide students with their reading and their writing. One of the methods that the book talk about is the CLEAR method. C stands for claims, L is for logic, E is for evidence, A is for assumptions, and R is for alternative arguments. Now, to me, I believe that's a big detail for elementary. I teach 5th grade. Science and social studies again. I use the CER model, which is claim, evidence, and reasoning. Now, they already know you got to cite the source. You have to tell, you got to state your claim. Where's your evidence? Where did you get this from? Okay? And why are you using this? What does this have? How does it all tie in with each other? Okay? So, making it like easier and promoting writing and reading as a fun thing, then students can buy in. You gotta sell their buy-in with them. Another way to get them into reading and writing is collaborative writing. Now, you can do collaborative writing with Google Docs and Canvas, which is the LMS that we use in Caddo. In Canvas, there is a collaboration board. There's also a discussion board where it's like a text. They can put an answer, and then somebody can respond to that answer. They love that. I mean, it's like you texting each other. Now, the flip side of that is they need to know how to turn that text talk off. A lot of their writing has been messed up because of texting and because of social media. Instead of you writing the word you, Y-O-U, you're putting the letter U. Instead of, completing words that's shorthand and everything. Like, no, ma'am, that's not how that's going to go. You can't turn in this form of essay with the letter U in there. No, that's not going to fly. But collaborative writing using Google Docs or any other type of collaboration board that you can use is a really good way to get students engaged and for them to help each other. A lot of times students learn best from each other. Okay? Now, audiobooks provide a wonderful opportunity for students who are struggling readers. They can gain vocabulary. They can increase their fluency. It's just so many benefits that audiobooks have, especially the ones that have the guided reader, where they can literally read along with the book. If there's a word that they don't understand, they could click on the word and get the definition. So their technology has really evolved and has really helped our struggling readers with programs like audiobooks. Now, there are also apps and programs that have graphic organizers as well. And graphic organizers are important when it gets time to writing. But it's important that we scaffold it and make sure that they know exactly what to put in that graphic organizer. But they can also be part of a collaboration board. I mean, they can talk to you. Okay, what's important? Okay, let's put this here. Let's put this here, and they can discuss what's important and learn from each other. Now, two wonderful programs that I use, Kami and KAMI and TeacherMade. You can upload graphic organizers or text into Kami and TeacherMade, and the students can annotate it. They can highlight things. They can type inside of stuff. Or they can do anything with the PDF that you upload into Kami or TeacherMade. And again, you can do it in a group. They can do it in a group. They can collaborate and do it together. Okay, those are just some ways to keep them motivated, keep them interested in writing. They really look forward to working with each other. Now, of course, you have those who want to do it by themselves. That's fine. But for those, especially struggling students, they need that. They need that collaboration. Now, let's talk about diversity. I teach at a Title I school, and we have a huge Hispanic population. Because of technology, I now know what Day of the Dead is. We did a program. Well, I did it. I gave an assignment rather on culture. So each group had a different culture. I had an African culture. I had a Hispanic culture. We did just different cultures around the world. Cultures really that were present in the classroom. I tried to pull their background in the classroom so we can better get to know each other, so we can get to know each other. And that was like so eye opening for all of us. We actually do whole program on Day of the Dead at school around Halloween time. It's really neat. Now, we can't talk about diversity without talking about our SPED and inclusion students. Those babies often get left out. They get left out the loop. But because of technology, it's easier to accommodate those students, especially with programs like eSpark and Zern. Those are personalized learning systems. And again, they meet the student where they are and they just gradually move them along. They make sure they master their skill, they master the foundation skill, so they have a strong foundation to build upon. So, technology has really made it easier for teachers, especially teachers that's not in a self-contained setting. I have all inclusion students in my class because I have a special ed background. So I have 8 inclusion students in my class. And because of different programs, I'm able to help them better with the lesson. And of course, grouping them and that sort of thing plays a huge part in it as well. Now, there are also specialized word processor websites that help with spelling skills and comprehension, like Spelling City and ABC Mouse. ABC Mouse may sound maybe babyish, but in SPED, especially that self-contained setting, ABC Mouse is wonderful. Um, I can't really Starfall. Starfall is another one that's really good. Now, a lot of times students know what they want to say. They just can't get it from here to the paper or from here to the computer. So that's where text to talk could come in there, because I have students that can talk to me, talk my ear off, talk to me about anything I've taught. They can tell me what everything is I said that day. But when I say put it on paper, psh, gone. I mean, it's like I don't know how to do that. But text to talk programs allow students to do that. They can literally speak their thoughts. The downside to that is if they're not speaking correctly, then it's not showing up on the screen correctly. Then so therefore when they're reading it wrong. And it's not going a lot of times it's not going to correct the grammatical errors or the spelling errors. They're just going to just go. Take it as is. But that's where I guess that's where not I guess, but that's where the teacher would need to make sure we're monitoring what they're doing and what they're saying and showing them the correct way. and giving them plenty of examples of, okay, subject verb agreements. Why is this blue squiggly line here? What does this red squiggly line mean? So it's important that we teach them all of those things when it comes to technology. Okay. Now, three things I plan on doing different. One, I do plan on using Kami and TeacherMade for students to annotate texts. Um, in social studies, we do a lot of research. We have to pick apart a lot of resources and sources and documents and maps and that sort of thing. So I was trying to think, because we're virtual. Well, we're not virtual, but we can't really share stuff like last year. I could just, okay, y'all share this piece of paper here, y'all share this document right here, and y'all mark it up and you do whatever. We can't do that this year, but I can upload those documents into Kami or TeacherMade and have them annotated there, and they'll serve the same purpose. I'll get the same result. Also, graphic organizers. I can make graphic organizers, or I can show them how to make graphic organizers in Google Slides using the shapes. I can show them how to use graphic organizers using Google Slides, and using that graphic organizer to form their essay, to complete their essay. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Have y'all ever got a really good piece of writing that just make you just, oh my God, it reminds me of my grandmother's pound cake. How it's just so good, and you just like want more and more. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. That pound cake. I want some pound cake writing, and I'm gonna get that pound cake writing this year, regardless of this pandemic. Anyway, back to the subject. Flipgrid. For my students that rather speak their answer, just give them different means of communicating and assessing, So with Flipgrid, they can record answers to a question. Their classmates can respond to that question and give them hints, or give them kudos, or give them suggestions on what else they may want to add to their answer. And then they can go back and revise their answer. And they can even take that and transfer it into that graphic organizer, which will transfer to their writing. It's all going back to writing. All going back to writing. Well, those are the three things that I do plan on using in the class, and doing differently. Well, in conclusion, technology plays a huge part in our lives, especially consider the pandemic and the virtual teaching. It's important that students understand that technology is more than just the video games at home, or the TV, or the drones they use. That's technology, but it's more than that. You can use YouTube for more than just getting your gaming shortcuts. I mean, if you're having a problem with this math problem, you can YouTube that as well. I mean, it's just all in how you're using it. But we just got to make sure that they are using it correctly. Okay? And it's up to us to just show them the way. Show them the way. All right? Now, the following videos are my coworkers, teachers, expressing their thoughts on technology and how they use technology in the classroom. So, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Hi guys, and welcome back to Charles Teachers Tech Talk. Today, right now, I have with me Mrs. Barnes. She teaches 5th grade ELA here at Turner. Mrs. Barnes, what are some of the pros and cons of technology that you have seen this year as far as in the classroom?
Good morning. I will start with the pros. The pros with using technology in the classroom is that we have a greater access to more resources for the students. They're able to implement the technology on a faster level. For example, if we are doing a vocabulary assignment, the students can access how to find those vocabulary words the root words, synonyms, and antonyms literally just by a few clicks on their computer.
Then I'm sorry, go on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. They can easily, there's no excuse now for reading a text and not knowing what that word means
Yes.
when they can just easily Google it
Can
and
Google
find it out.
yes.
And you're about to talk about the cons?
Yes, and I'll say the cons with that is technology is not 100% reliable. Technology does go out. We do have a lot of situations where some of our websites may be out due to technological issues, and that can sometimes alter or hinder our learning experience. That does not necessarily mean that they cannot get that information. It just means that they can't get it at that capacity of what they needed at that particular time.
Okay, great. Now, what type of programs do you use to enhance a lesson or to keep the kids more engaged in the lesson?
I use LearnZillion, which is a Kado-based platform for ELA. The students can follow along with the slide, or I can assign that lesson to them, and they can read the lessons. For example, if a student is absent and they do not catch my live lesson, they can go back to LearnZillion to that assignment code and read that lesson at their own pace. It also breaks down the lesson requirements for them. I also use eSpark, which is a data tracker. The student is at their level, and everyone is working on the same standard or same skill, but their skill, the skill that they're receiving is on their own individual based learning level. It gives me weekly data tracking, also daily tracking, and it also gives me an assessment every single week. They make it fun and interactive for the students where they're able to hear different stories, hear jokes and anecdotes, and there's things of that nature that keeps them actively engaged first thing in the morning.
Oh, that's good. So I have a question. With eSpark, one of the biggest problems I've seen is the gap. Like, we're in fifth grade, but they're reading like on a third grade level. So in eSpark, does it bring the text down to a third grade level so they can comprehend it?
Actually, yes, it does. And what it does is it'll give them that fifth grade text, but it'll give it at their own individual level. So with eSpark it'll track or detect, so to speak, their deficits in what the initial assessment it gives them. And then once eSpark tracks or detects that deficit, it automatically adjusts to that student's level. So then it'll give me a notification. Although this student is in fifth grade, we're going to give them third grade content, but on the same standard. So they're still going to get that same standard. They're just going to get it on a level where they can understand, and then it will bring them up and bridge that gap. By the end of that weekly lesson, they should be a little bit closer to that fifth grade standard or that fifth grade level for that particular lesson.
Okay,
yes,
I love it. Well, Ms. Bourne, I do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in for Charles Teachers Tech Talk. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, with me I have Mrs. Jackson. She's the reading coach here for grade 3 through 5 at Turner. Ms. Jackson, what are some of the pros and cons of technology that you have seen in the classroom?
Hello. The pros and cons that I've seen with technology in the classroom as it relates to ELA are for the pros, it's definitely just a pro for students to be able to interact with technology overall. Students need to learn technology these days. That's high demand in this day and time. The students also get to be competitive with one another on certain programs, and the students are just learning skills that they have not been introduced to. When it comes to the cons of using technology, I would definitely say that as far as ELA goes, students are missing that pencil to paper, just being able to write and complete sentences, to make sure they're using correct punctuation, capitalization, things like that. I just feel like it's just necessary these days for students to still be able to just do that on paper.
Okay, and I totally agree with that. That's a big factor that's missing as far as technology, because A lot of times they don't understand what the little blue squiggly line means and how to correct it and why the computer is telling them to correct it that way. That's where we come in at.
Right.
So what programs have you noticed that teachers are using to enhance their lesson and keep students more engaged?
I am noticing that teachers are using programs such as Spelling City. I think that's a good one. Help students with their spelling skills, and not only does it help them with their spelling skills, they're able to do other games and activities that actually keep their attention and keep them focused and engaged. Also quizzes, I think that is a good one. Kahoot, I love that. That's one of my favorites. Again, it gives the students an opportunity to compete. That keeps them engaged, knowing that they have a chance of being the winner. Also, I love to use, I think Nearpod and Vocabulary are also some great
Awesome.
programs
Yes, they are.
that are being used in the classroom.
Yes, I love how Nearpod, Google Slides actually have an extension for Nearpod, and I love how they have worked together to make it easier for us to get our lessons together in Nearpod. I love vocabulary. You know, kids love anything with a beat. They love music. So I love vocabulary and use that a lot. Well, Ms. Jackson, I do appreciate you and appreciate you taking time to be a part of Charles Teacher Tech Talk. All right, guys. Until next time, see you later. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. With me, I have Miss Ness. She's a 5th grade ELA teacher here at Turner. Mr. Ness, what are the pros and cons of using technology in the classroom? And what programs or software do you use or websites do you use in the class to enhance your lessons?
I would say that the pros of using technology in the classroom is it prepares students for the digital age that we are currently in. So I feel like students will be prepared to use technology as they continue to advance in their educational careers. However, the downside of using technology in the classroom, especially for an English class, as it does not really push students to read a lot of materials on their own. They're able to just go and Google search answers to questions. They're not actually being required to pick up a book and actually read the material in the book to formulate an answer. So I don't feel as though their reading skills are as strong due to technology, because in a lot of cases they're able to even copy and paste information as opposed to having to find a way to put it in their own words and write it out. So I feel like that is a hindrance as far as students' academic process as well. Educational programs that we use to enhance learning in the classroom. eSpark is one program that we use. eSpark is catered to the students' academic ability. It meets them where they are. And as students advance with the assignments that they are given, they move up to another level. So it caters it to where they are.
Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're
Thanks for being a
welcome.
part of Charles Teacher Tech Talk. All right, guys. Did you all enjoy those videos? I did. I really enjoyed interviewing my coworkers and seeing and hearing their thoughts on technology and how it's helped them in their classrooms. I didn't even know about eSpark until I talked to them, but I loved it. Well, this concludes this episode of Charles Teacher Tech Talk. Until next time, you all have a blessed day. Bye.